What is going on, guys? Matt Downs with Daily Grind Fantasy Sports to help give you the edge for this NBA 6-game slate on DraftKings. Cannot wait to break it down. If you guys want to be entered into the $25 giveaway that we do every single Friday on our live stream, please like, subscribe, and also comment your favorite GPP play for this slate. If you guys are brand new to this channel, we provide both free and paid content for all daily fantasy sports across all sports. If you could please show your support by hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, and of course smashing that like button for all of our future NBA content. If you would like to know more about becoming a better DFS player and taking down that big GPP, head over to www.patreon.com/DGFantasy for more information. On Patreon, we give advanced cheat sheets for all DFS sports on DraftKings. These cheat sheets include updated projections, ownership, and our overall favorite plays from slate to slate. We take it a step further by teaching you how to play fantasy sports like a shark, by showing you where the best leverage spots are to put you in the best spots to take down tourneys. Also included is our private Discord chat where you get to talk over the slate with everyone, including our coaches, to help build your lineups. And now let's go ahead and dive right into this NBA 6-game slate. But first, you guys know we have to go over some Patreon success over the weekend. We had a lot of SuperDraft success. If you guys haven't signed up for SuperDraft, first of all, link is in the description below. A 50% match up to $500. We provide all of our favorite SuperDraft plays on our live stream. And we also have our premium projections on our Patreon. Again, only $20 a month gives you access to all of that and so much more, including a private Discord chat, which we will be taking a look at here. One of our winning lineup posts here, $15 into $400, third place out of 390 people utilizing our SuperDraft projections there. We got another close takedowns. I believe this was a $1 turned into $20. Also looks like you got first place in this contest, so $25 there in the night contest utilizing our projections. $9 in the 56. This was actually my screenshot here. I turned $50 into 400, got second place out of 68 people. Played the chalk in this very small GBP, got dead last, but I faded the chalk in this one and got second place out of 68. That's how your lineup construction is supposed to look if you're playing the contest correctly. And then over here, we got $12 into $80, $5 into $25 into 10, and some more success here with Tony. Got some close GBP takedowns. Again, guys, our Patreon, only $20 a month gives you access to all of our favorite picks for cash plays, GPP plays, and also our custom projections that we upload every single night before lock. Not only for NBA, but also for MLB. We have MMA, we have esports, we have everything going on, and loading up to our new website, which will be released later this week. All right, now let's hone in on this NBA 6-game slate. We have a lot of pending injury news that's going to shake up the slate here. I'm going to go over that roughly, and then we will focus on what we know now with a couple of these teams here. With Indiana, we have Brogdon and Lamb questionable. If both those guys are rolled out, if one of those two guys is rolled out, definitely going to impact the slate there with Indiana versus Cleveland. With New Orleans, Brandon Ingram and Zion have been out. Same thing with Steven Adams. If any one of those guys are going to be held out, then yes, we're going to be all over the Pelicans. James Johnson will be mega chalk. Marshall would be chalk. Lonzo Ball will get a boost, and Eric Bledsoe has been on fire. Also, with Memphis, we have some solidified news here with Grayson Allen, McDermott officially out. And then another team that's pending injury news that will break the slate is going to be Houston. They have a mess of a roster in general every single time we take a look at them. But right now, Kelly Olynyk and Christian Wood are questionable. If both those guys are ruled out, if just one of those two guys are ruled out, then yes, we're definitely going to be honing in on the Houston Rockets. Right now, the over-under is at a 238, which is the highest on the slate. So there's a lot of pace-up value plays there in Houston if those guys are ruled out. But let's focus on the chalk, what we know as of right now. Right now, we know that the Washington Wizards are without Bradley Beal, and when you take him off the court, it drastically impacts this picture. We have Russell Westbrook, who's been on absolute fire. He's going to be the highest-owned guy on the slate by far. I'm right now projected 40 minutes. I think that's a bit conservative, averaging 40, 44, and 44 minutes in his past 3 contests. So I think a lot of upside there with Russell Westbrook when you take Bradley Beal off the court, averaging 1.57 fantasy points per minute in this contest. He didn't get a price increase. He got a price reduction off of his previous price tag, which was 11.1K. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. He's going to be the highest owned guy and probably will be in the optimal tonight. When you take Bradley Beal off the court, a lot of these role players have to step up tonight. Ish Smith is projected 22 minutes. We have Bertans projected at 28 minutes. Same thing with Raul Neto. So all those guys you can take stabs at. It looks like Ish Smith is going to be the highest owned just because he's usually the most productive with injuries on this team. Ish Smith averaging 0.88 fantasy points per minute, which is slightly higher than these other value plays. So I do like him here at 23.2% ownership, a 5.9 point per dollar value. Also, Bertans at a 3.7K price tag. Generally a shooter, and that's how he gets his fantasy points per minute. Right now, he's averaging 0.85 fantasy points per minute, not the highest usage rate on the team. Also like him for a value play here at 17.6% ownership, and he's actually the best point per dollar value on this team. So I really like Bertans. I really like Ish Smith, and I also like Raul Neto. The only thing with Neto is he's also the most expensive out of these value plays. 4.5K. Not a huge fan of him when you compare him to Ish Smith and Bertans, but 16.6% ownership. He's also averaging close to 0.9 fantasy points per minute with Bradley Beal off the court. So definitely don't mind him. One guy I want to talk about, though, and I want to address Hachimura here at 4.9K. Right now he's projected at 31 minutes, but if we take a look at his last contest, 35 minutes, that was him playing with Bradley Beal, and 31, that was against Indiana minutes before that. And that neither one of those games went to OT, so I really do like Hachimura. I think his floor is going to be about 34 to 35 minutes. I think he could play upwards of that. Looks like he's fully healthy and ready to play. And 4.9K with the guy projected over 35 minutes is very, very good. Not only that, he's averaging 0.8. Let me just make sure I have this right. 0.87 fantasy points per minute. So not the best, not the worst, just an average fantasy point per minute. And without Bradley Beal on the court, he's going to be taking a lot more shots. So I really like him. High upside player in a pace-up spot. We have him at a 6.2 point per dollar value, assuming he's going to be playing about 34 minutes. The rest of these guys are just going to be GPP options. My favorite value play on the slate in general is going to be Russell Westbrook. It's crazy to say at his 11K price tag, but also Ish Smith and Bertans. And I really like Hachimura for upside, especially if he's going to be carrying this low of ownership at only 14% ownership. Next on the list is going to be the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors are facing off against the Utah Jazz. Not the best matchup, but we have a good amount of injuries off the court for these guys. Damian Lee, Kelly Oubre, and Pascal. They've been out for a little bit, and these guys really seem mispriced across the board. Right now, they're projected to score 112 points, which isn't too bad against a good defensive team in Utah. Steph Curry averaging 1.59 fantasy points per minute with these guys off the court and a 36% usage rate. So I really think he's still undervalued at a 10.5K price tag. I think the general chalk route's going to be paying down for some of these value plays in Washington, then also paying up for Russell Westbrook and Steph Curry. Steph Curry got that price reduction. He's a 5.5 point per dollar value, and in order to keep this game close, he's definitely going to have to step it up. Right now, Utah is still a 3-point favorite despite these guys being at home. Andrew Wiggins is averaging 0.95 fantasy points per minute. Not the best value play, in my opinion, here for the Golden State Warriors. 6.9K price tag is just a little bit too pricey for me. But Jordan Poole here at a 4.2K price tag averages exactly a fantasy point per minute here, projected in 25 minutes. I like him for value. A 6 point per dollar value is definitely going to fly under the radar, but I definitely don't mind him here, carrying 13.8% ownership. A guy that also stands out for me in GPPs here is going to be JTA at a 5K price tag, averaging over a fantasy point per minute. 0.9 fantasy points per minute, so definitely not that bad of a value play, and 32 projected minutes, so I do like him here as another GPP option. Same thing with Draymond Green. He's expected to be playing 34 plus minutes, so I also like him point per dollar value wise. And that will cover the Golden State Warriors. I really do think Steph Curry is going to be the other great pay up option tonight for this slate. Last but not least, let's flip over to the other side because these guys are still without Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley, and also Morgan. When you take those guys off the court, it's really a usage boost across the board, and all these price tags are very appealing, in my opinion, especially in this pace of spot here versus Golden State Warriors. Joe Ingles is definitely one guy I want to talk about, projected in 34 minutes. Should get a lot of shots up tonight, and also is coming off a price reduction here, 6.3K, and right now I have him pinned for a 5.7 point per dollar value, averaging over a fantasy point per minute, exactly a 1.05 fantasy point per minute projection. So like him here in the spot. He's the highest owned on the team, and rightfully so. I think he's also going to be a guy with a lot of upside. Niang at a 3.9K price tag, not quite a fantasy point per minute, but he's projected 25 minutes, so I also respect him for a value, an additional value play, but I do prefer the Washington Wizards. Another guy in the mix here is going to be Bogdanovic, also averaging over a fantasy point per minute. His price tag is a little bit more than Joe Ingles, but also projected more minutes here. 35 projected minutes, a 5.8 point per dollar value. Also going to be more of a GPP play. Royce O'Neal is also averaging close to a fantasy point per minute here at a 4.7K price tag at 33 minutes. We have him for a 5.7 point per dollar value. And then last but not least, Rudy Gobert and Jordan Clarkson. These guys are definitely not as high on my board just because of their price tags here, 8.5K and 7.7K. But if these guys get hot early, these guys could easily cover their price tag, but definitely more GPP plays, and they're definitely going to fly under the radar here in this up-paced game. And just like that, I covered the chalk, guys. I will be pinning a post in the YouTube comment section below once we hear more injury news throughout the day. The Pelicans are definitely somebody we're going to be paying attention to, and same thing with the Houston Rockets. I love targeting them the other night. I got third place out of 400 people because I stacked the Rockets, 5 of them in an up-paced spot. So if that's the same picture, going to be going right back to the well with them. But again, all of that is pending. If you guys want to join us for our live stream a little bit later, we'll be covering all the slate-breaking injury news on there as well. And just like that, guys, that will wrap up my video. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, please do hit that subscription button, notification bell, and of course smash that like button for all of our future NBA content. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day, and let's cash.